In the future world, when people reach 16, they are scheduled for cosmetic surgery. They transform from ugly to beautiful. The appearance modification program is not just about looking good. Hundreds of years ago, humanity excessively squandered natural resources, leading the earth into chaos and war. These people are referred to as the corrupted. Scientists took on the mission and developed a renewable energy program. The scientists solved the survival issues, but the problems of human nature remained unsolved, because differences among individuals still lead to conflicts. So, the scientists came up with a solution. When people turn 16, they must undergo cosmetic surgery. If everyone is perfect, conflicts among people would disappear. Tally looked forward to the surgery. She often climbed to the rooftop with Kevin to gaze at the party life on the building's top floor. In 3 months, Tally would be able to join them. Kevin's 16th birthday is tomorrow. They promised that, after becoming beautiful, they would not forget each other. Kevin kept the scar on his hand as a memento. Soon after, it was time for the graduation dance. Dormitory students reported to the Franny Hall. The image of the district leader, Naya, appeared, instructing the students turning 16 tomorrow to board the vehicle. Kevin picked up his bag and prepared to leave. Tally made a pact with him to meet under the bridge in a month. In fact, they became friends the day they moved into the dormitory. At that time, Tally was very insecure, holding a mirror and fantasizing about becoming beautiful. In anger, Kevin snatched the mirror and smashed it, leaving a scar on his hand. Kevin never saw Tally as ugly, and she also cut her palm. The scars became a testament to their friendship. Though she lost the companionship of her friend, Tally's life went on. Her messages to Kevin went unanswered. The time they agreed upon arrived, and Tally opened the window and evaded the guards to escape. She ran to the bridge, but Kevin did not show up. Tally gazed at the bustling city and climbed up the bridge to blend into it. Tally picked up a mask and put it on, which would activate and match her outfit. After transforming her look, Tally walked into the crowd. She called out to a hunter. Tally asked for the location of the Gabble building, where she found Kevin, but he should now be called Paris, as that ridiculous nose had been altered by surgery. Paris was somewhat cold when he saw Tally. He believed that beautiful people had no common ground with ugly ones. 2 months later, Tally completed her surgery, and they could still be friends. Tally turned over Paris's palm, and the scar had disappeared. At this moment, the AI detected that Tally didn't belong there. She didn't have time to say more, and hurriedly ran away. The security personnel were about to chase her. Tally put on a jacket and jumped from the Gabble building. Tally evaded the guards and hid under the bridge, but she was caught by the administrator. In a critical moment, a student named Shay saved Tally. They escaped back to school on their skateboards. Shay was a bit rebellious. She often snuck out to have fun. After hearing about Tally's experience, Shay expressed her understanding, because after Shay's friends became beautiful, their relationships also grew distant. Fortunately, Shay and Tally shared the same birthday. They could become beautiful together and wouldn't abandon each other. Tally's friendship with Shay opened the door to a new world for her. They practiced skateboarding together, and Shay could even get physical books. She was different from the ugly people Tally knew. Shay didn't feel insecure about her appearance. She focused on the things she loved, and Tally was inspired by that passion. Time flew by, and tomorrow was their 16th birthday.
Would it be so bad not to do it? The surgery?
Shay, don't talk that way.
But Shay was not just talking. During her 4 years in the dorm, she had been gathering information. Shay wanted to escape to Smoke City. Tally laughed, saying that place didn't even exist. Shay stated that they would meet in the green belt in 2 hours. Shay instructed Tally to take off her ring and hang it on a tree, so the academy would think they were having a picnic. Tally couldn't resist the temptation and followed Shay onto the skateboard. Although the outside world was not connected to the network, they were riding magnetic levitation skateboards. The metals and minerals in the river could support the operation of the skateboards. The two arrived at the ruins of the corrupted. Shay led Tally to climb a tall building. She made Tally promise not to reveal what happened next to anyone. After saying this, Shay struck a flint to light the charcoal basin. Shay was going to contact David. In fact, on the night Tally jumped from the building, Shay was supposed to escape to Smoke City with her friends, but at the crucial moment, she backed out. After meeting Tally, Shay regained her courage. She enjoyed skateboarding and reading with her friends. Shay didn't want to be controlled, so she hoped Tally would escape with her.
Everyone is exactly who they're born to be. They're free. I don't want to be free. I want to be pretty.
People's perceptions are hard to change in a short time. Shay knew that. She couldn't force Tally on this matter. She wrote down the route in code. At this moment, David in the distance had already signaled. After saying goodbye to Tally, Shay left on her skateboard. The day of their 16th birthday had arrived. Tally and the students arrived at the place for the surgery, and she was the last in line. Before Tally could step into the operating room, she was taken away by the authorities. Tally thought that her plans had been exposed. She was taken to the 7th floor of the administration building. Naya was there to question her about Shay's escape. Tally wouldn't betray her friend, so she remained silent. Naya threatened her with the cosmetic surgery, stating that Tally could only undergo the procedure if she provided information. Tally was sent back to the academy, facing ridicule from everyone. She sat in her dormitory, feeling sad. Paris unexpectedly climbed through the window. He hadn't been in touch for 3 months, and now Paris suddenly appeared. He came to ask about Shay's whereabouts. Paris reasoned with her, saying that Shay had been deceived by David's group. Not revealing the truth would only harm her. Tally was conflicted, and she was persuaded by Paris. The next day, she went to meet district leader Naya. Naya reiterated that the people in Smoke City were developing a weapon. Naya stated that Shay was a naive girl who could easily be brainwashed by David. Now, they needed Tally to go undercover in Smoke City. Her mission was to locate David's weapon. Of course, if she didn't want to go, Tally could still proceed with her cosmetic surgery. Naya's words convinced her. How could Tally not go to save her friend? Carrying her skateboard, Tally set off on her way to Smoke City. Tally moved along the roller coaster path, with a safety wristband to protect her. Tally kept moving forward, climbing over cliffs, and crossing broken bridges. Adventures help people grow. After many hardships, Tally arrived at the White Ocean. This plant was the renewable energy invented by scientists. The white tiger orchid could power the entire city. Legend has it that Smoke City is near the flower fields. On the other side, Paris went to find Naya. Strangely, when Paris returned to the academy to see Tally, he found that he missed that place.
I know it sounds stupid because I'm here now, but I'm still connected to her.
Because since the surgery, Paris had lost his human feelings. He missed his former self. Naya stated that he need not worry. Even after the modifications, only a few people were dissatisfied with the status quo. They had already explored a whole new path for these few. Under Naya's persuasion, Paris stood on the operating table again. Paris underwent a deeper level of modification. On Tally's side, she lay sleeping in the flower fields. Suddenly, she was awakened by a cloud of thick smoke. Then, a person rushed over and pulled Tally out of the fire ring. This person was David. He checked Tally's belongings. David removed the tracker. Tally glanced at the necklace, which was the signaling device given to her by Naya. Once she located the weapon, she had to use the necklace to send a signal. Fortunately, it was high-tech, and David's scanner couldn't detect unusual. Naya noticed that the tracker had been removed and realized that Tally had found David. So, she dispatched 2 specials to search within a 10-mile radius. In fact, the flower fields were quite far from Smoke City. Tally followed David all night, and they had just arrived at the first outpost. David stated that Smoke City wouldn't just accept newcomers. She had to undergo an identity check. Tally was about to say something. In the next moment, she saw Shay at the outpost. The two embraced. David's suspicions about Tally were not dispelled, as no one could reach the flower fields alone. In the evening, Shay noticed Tally's necklace. She asked Tally where the necklace was from. Tally replied that Paris had come to the academy last night. He's afraid he won't recognize me after the surgery, so he gave her the necklace. Then, Tally shifted the conversation to Shay. She didn't expect Shay to be so happy. Tally thought that Shay would be imprisoned by David. Her words made Shay become more alert.
Did you come here?
to try to bring me back?
Shay was unaware of the agreement between Tally and Naya. All she knew was that Tally had come after her, so Shay agreed not to tell David about it. But Tally needed to understand the people here. If she still didn't like Smoke City, after learning about it, Tally could leave and return to the academy at any time. The next morning, David and the others gathered. They planned to set a fire at West Hill before heading home. Because the white tiger orchids are toxic, they absorb nutrients from the soil, killing vegetation for miles around. Everyone had to live in the city, which was different from what Tally had learned. The textbooks said that the white tiger orchids were meant to clean up the oil pollution caused by the corrupted and power the entire city. David didn't want to argue. He planned to take Tally up the mountain to see for herself. Chloe was somewhat dissatisfied. He didn't trust newcomers. Shay stepped up to vouch for Tally. In the end, they went to find the fighter jet, left behind by the corrupted. David had modified it, installing solar panels suitable for spreading fire. From the fighter jet, they could see the paths where the white tiger orchids grew. Wherever these flowers grew, the land was desolate. They arrived above the white tiger orchids. Chloe confirmed that the ground was clear. As the fire burned halfway, Chloe suddenly noticed movement at the scene. David prepared to fly lower to observe. Unexpectedly, Shay's buckle loosened, and she fell to the ground. Immediately, a scout charged into the flames to grab Shay. Tally couldn't watch her friend get captured, so she dropped the rope and slid down to the ground. Soon, she found Shay amidst the flames. The specials were about to rush over. Tally grabbed a burning backpack and threw it. She dragged Shay while pulling on the rope. David noticed and immediately instructed the pilot to ascend. Fortunately, they reacted in time, and Tally and Shay successfully escaped danger. They returned to the outpost. Chloe believed that the reason the patrol had found them must be related to Tally. David understood Chloe's concerns, but Tally's willingness to risk her life to save someone proved she was different from the beautiful people. The foundation and purpose of Smoke City is to accept every person with a loving heart. In the end, they blindfolded Tally. They took her to Smoke City. Life here was not as convenient as in the academy. They had to grow their own food. Everyone had to work, but everyone chose to stay in Smoke City voluntarily. David stored the supplies in a cave because tourmaline could shield against scanners. At this moment, workers were recycling railway ties to make pots, pans, and gardening tools. Tally asked Shay if they were making weapons, but Shay replied that the changes pursued by Smoke City had nothing to do with guns or bombs. Tally observed the base, but didn't find any secret weapons. On the contrary, life here was peaceful and harmonious. Everyone revered nature, and they didn't waste time thinking about what was unattractive. Tally's mindset was changing, and she began to develop feelings for David. But the peaceful days were soon disrupted. That day, those who went out to burn the flowers were attacked again. These specials were different from the scouts. Their speed and strength far exceeded those of normal people. As a result, Smoke City would surely be exposed. Seeing that the injured had difficulty stopping the bleeding, Tally stepped forward to help. David watched her intently. Shay noticed David's gaze and felt uncomfortable. Could it be that Shay also had feelings for David?
Are those David's gloves?
Yeah, I had started getting...
In Smoke City, all resources are as precious as those in Emerald City. David gave Tally the gloves, indicating that he had feelings for her. Shay couldn't help but remind Tally that she needed to decide whether to stay in Smoke City. If she kept hesitating, it wouldn't be fair to David and the friends in Smoke City. The next day, Tally decided to have a talk with David. She candidly expressed that she had heard before coming here that they were developing a secret weapon. They intended to use it to destroy the city. David took Tally to meet his parents, planning to reveal the secret of the modification surgery to her. It turned out that David's parents were cosmetic surgeons. David's mother was a member of the council, and she had access to the entire medical database. While perfecting their surgical research, the couple noticed that a type of brain disorder, this frontal cortical disease, would cause people to become dull. The surgically enhanced beauties would be indifferent to everything and unable to think clearly. They would fall into a false sense of happiness. But before the couple could take action, Naya had taken away their research findings. Clearly, the brain disorder was not a side effect of the surgery, but was intentionally caused by Naya. She aimed to control the city's residents through this illness. After David's parents saw the truth, they escaped the city. They created Smoke City. For these years, they had been researching an antidote. They hoped to help the beauties regain their consciousness. Now, they had developed a basic serum, but it had to be used in conjunction with a synthetic compound. Unfortunately, this nanocompound was only available in Emerald City. They didn't dare to risk entering the city, and could only study alternative ingredients. Naya knew about this, which is why she attacked Smoke City. Tally realized she had been deceived. She ripped off the necklace and threw it into the fire. She confessed to David that her intentions for coming here were not pure, but David replied that the past was the past. As long as she liked Smoke City now, that was enough. Their feelings for each other deepened. The necklace triggered during the burning. The next day, scout planes flew over Smoke City. Once they landed, they began to massacre indiscriminately. A large number of residents, including Shay, were captured. The leader of the scouts was none other than Paris. After his second modification, soon after, Naya also appeared in Smoke City. She demanded that the residents of Smoke City hand over David. The people around were very quiet. Naya's patience was limited. She ordered Paris to snap David's father's neck. David rushed out, disregarding the danger.
Thank you for joining us, Tally.
You didn't tell me that you would hurt anyone.
The crowd's expressions changed dramatically. They were unaware of Tally's collusion with Naya. Seizing the moment of shock, David's mother slipped the serum into her son's pocket. Naya ordered that everyone be taken back to the city. Tally rushed into the supply room, knocked over the gasoline, and ignited it with a flint. Then, she rolled away from the explosion. David broke free from his restraints and ran away. Naya did not order anyone to pursue them, because she had Shay in her grasp. Tally would come looking for her. She instructed the scouts to demolish the lab. Then she set fire to Smoke City. Soon after, Tally found David in the cave. David was very angry, and she had to explain that she truly didn't know the flames would trigger the necklace. Tally was willing to go with David to rescue people. After all, she had grown up in the city and was familiar with the terrain. David hesitated, but agreed to give Tally a chance. They found a trustworthy student and obtained identity rings. Then, as the scouts patrolled outside their quarters, the two of them skated into the building. They avoided the guards and used the rings to unlock the door. As soon as they opened the door, they ran into a prison guard. David lunged forward and subdued him. Then, he snatched the identity rings. Tally used the prison guard's ring to unlock the cell and freed the residents of Smoke City. But she didn't see Shay. Chloe said that she had already been taken to the operating room. Tally refused to give up and chased after to save her. But Shay had already completed the modification. Paris quickly blocked the door. Naya threatened Tally, ordering the three of them onto the operating table. Various instruments moved closer. At that critical moment, Chloe piloted the fighter jet to the window. He melted the glass, destroying the surgical chamber. David's mother obtained the compound, and the three took Shay to the top floor. Paris was waiting for them ahead. Tally knew that Kevin's essence was hidden within the body. She tried to awaken his memories, seeing Paris kill his father. David didn't trust him. He rushed over to separate the two. David was knocked away by Paris. Ordinary people were no match for specials. David was about to be killed. Tally skated over and crashed into him. Paris was knocked to the edge of the building, and his eyes regained clarity. But in the next moment, he lost his strength and fell into the abyss. Tally had no time to grieve. She skated away. They hid in an abandoned building. David's mother combined the serum and the compound, enabling her to create an antidote to cure Shay. But before that, she needed to conduct experiments. Tally was willing to take the risk for Shay. She could undergo the modification surgery and then receive the antidote. At the moment, there was no better option. Tally told David to leave first, while she faced Naya's pursuers alone. In the end, she underwent the modification surgery, but Tally did not lose herself. She still bore the scars on her hands. Tally believed in David he would soon come with the antidote. The film ends here. The director planned it as a trilogy, but given the worldview presented in the film, there was no need for that many. Overall, it can be classified as a teen dystopia. However, using appearance as the anchor point is rather absurd. The inserted romantic elements did not enhance the film, rather, they made it cliché. Among many dystopian films, it truly does not stand out. If you enjoy my channel, please give me a subscription.